The Grand Theft Auto series was always one of violence, mayhem, and intense vehicular action. While GTA 1 and 2 were a bit overlooked by many gamers, it's mainly due because they were released during a time where popular games were dominating the competition, such as Final Fantasy VII. But in 2001, a third installment of the GTA series was released and would completely change the open world gaming scene for years to come. No one thought that giving this series a 3D change would give the franchise a whole new life. But there were many things that were shown and discovered about the game that weren't in the final version. Some of these things didn't come to life for more than a decade after it was released. And so in today's video, we'll be discussing the beta of Grand Theft Auto 3. One of the main aspects that made Grand Theft Auto what it is today are the characters. And rightfully so, many characters went through several changes throughout the development, and a few were flat out omitted from the final game. So first, let's talk about a few characters that were cut from the final version. Kirtley was scheduled to be a character in Grand Theft Auto 3, but was dropped during development. Kirtley was voiced by the late Curtis L. McLaren, a known voice actor and Broadway performer who has made many appearances on TV shows. Sadly, Curtis McLaren passed away in 2014 of a brain aneurysm, but Kirtley remains credited in Grand Theft Auto 3's ending credits, but no character model is in the game. Next is Darkle, or Darkel, who was also another character that was cut from the final game. Darkle was a hobo who lived underneath the Callahan Bridge. If the player goes to the tunnel that connects 8Ball's shop with the Super Save in Portland View, they will find a few tramps with Molotovs. It is said that these are remnants of Darkle's gang. For whatever reason, Rockstar would not reveal for many years why Darkle was cut from the game, even though it was speculated that it was due to the 9/11 attacks. In a Q&A, Rockstar claimed that Darkle was removed because he did not totally fit with the rest of the game. In this same Q&A, Rockstar denied that Darkle was removed due to 9/11, and denied the rumor that one of his missions was going to be blowing up a bus full of school kids. Rockstar confirmed that Darkle would have appeared in 5 missions, but the only missions, I Scream You Scream and Love Hurts, can be confirmed. Despite being taken out, Darkle remains listed in the GTA 3 manual credits along with Kirtley, and the character texture remains in the game's data files. Darkle's intentions for Liberty City were to destroy the city's economy. It was said that one of his missions included crashing a dodo into Donald Love's building in an attempt to assassinate him. But this was likely cut due to the events of 9/11. But Rockstar has since denied this in their own website. DJ and producer Tom Novi from Munich, Germany was meant to make an appearance in the game as himself. There is a misconception among a few GTA fans that he was meant to be the original protagonist of the game, though there is no evidence to back this up. Tom Novi also played a song called Back to the Streets on Head Radio, but it was deleted out of the listing with no explanation. Novi can be playable by hacking the game's code, but only in the PS2 version of the game, as the PC version crashes if the player attempts to take control of the character model. There was also a butler, but he never made the final cut. No one knows what his purpose was, but many believe he was Salvatore Leone's butler. Now speaking of the Leone family, Joey Leone's original surname was Sorvino, while Salvatore's original name was Frankie Sorvino. And also, Asuka Kasen's original first name was Kamuri. 8Ball's original name, Mullen or Mulan, was originally supposed to be used. Several key characters went through a few cosmetic changes, including Catalina, Luigi, and the main protagonist Claude. Claude went through the most severe changes of all. During the early development of the game, he had a very chubby, cartoonish style rendering, and slowly progressed to a more detailed version which we all know today. Several concept images also show Claude with a hoodie instead of a jacket. The entire look of the game also had a different ambient to it. Early beta footages show a much more colorful and bright look to the city, until it was changed to the much more grimy and littered city we got in the final game. Several changes to the game happened, presumably due to the attacks of 9/11. The main one was the color of the law enforcement vehicles. They had a more traditional New York style blue and white look to them, but were then changed to a more standard black and white look. These models can still be accessed in the game's files. As far as weapons go, there are only 3 weapons found in the game's code that weren't in the final version. A landmine which was cut completely, a baseball bat which was red and yellow with a red grip, and a nightstick which can be seen in an early beta image of a police officer. Speaking of police officers, they originally had mustaches in their character models. As far as pedestrians go, there were some interesting NPCs that were changed or cut from the game for absolutely no reason. The Triads originally sported black outfits and had tattoos. The FBI had a different uniform, and buskers were cut or disabled from the game completely, but later introduced in Grand Theft Auto 4. The existence of buskers in Grand Theft Auto 3 can be seen in the default file labeled Busker 1. Now, interestingly enough, the buskers with the bongos has the same appearance as a college student at the Liberty City Community College in Liberty Campus. And there were also originally going to be female taxi drivers. The air train was originally destructible with weapons, much like the Dead Dodo. This was likely changed due to the controversy of 9/11 as well. The ability to blow limbs off of non-playable characters was also cut, but only from the PlayStation 2 version of the game. This can still be activated in the PlayStation 2 version via cheat codes. Claude could also originally run with the baseball bat in hand. And originally, if the player picked up money, the script showed how much money was picked up. Now this feature still exists in the game's file and is possible to activate it. Music became canon to the Grand Theft Auto franchise, and as such, there are many songs that were cut from the final game. Here's a quick list of a few of the songs that were cut. Tom Novi's Back to the Streets, AC/DC's Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, Connor and Jay's Carry Me Off, Apostles of Funk Yellow Butter, Davidson's All I Wanna Do, Meme Trader's Automatic Transmission, Ojama Complications, and Connor and Jay's Vegas Roads. Speaking of music, radio stations such as Liberty FM, Radioactive, WLLC's The Zone, and Liberty Soul FM were all cut during production. Head Radio also had a different logo. At one point in development, it shared the same logo as the Grand Theft Auto 2's Head Radio. Now, as far as vehicles are concerned, 3 cars originally from Grand Theft Auto 2 were cut, including the Panto, the Hatura, though it appeared in the final version as an undrivable wreck, and the Bug, seen in a few beta images. Another cut vehicle was the Brigham, originally from Grand Theft Auto 1. In a screenshot, it can be seen that it has some front similarities to the Stallion, and may have been planned to appear instead. Another scrapped vehicle was the Luton, which was replaced by the Mule for unknown reason. 4 cars almost had alternate names. The Sentinel was known as the Beamer, the Perennial was known as Maurice, the Idaho was known as the Atura, and the Stinger was known as the Shark. The logo of Grand Theft Auto 3 also had been changed a few times. In recent interviews about Grand Theft Auto 3, it was revealed the logo used to be a stenciled font, and another one was a pill-shaped logo similar to the Grand Theft Auto 2 logo. There was also a few lines of unused text that seemed to imply that the hospital was at some point accessible or usable. Text within the game's files contained phrases such as, "You're perfectly healthy, get out of here," and "I'll just fix you up." A camera pickup can also be found in the game's files, and even activated, but it is unfinished. A Taycan was later reused for snapshots in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Its original purpose is unknown. Also, police cars were also made visible via the on-screen map. And finally, let's discuss one final thing, which I think is probably the biggest thing omitted from the game: multiplayer. Interestingly enough, the PC version of Grand Theft Auto 3's game files and code strings indicate that the game initially had multiplayer capabilities. Similarly, the 10th anniversary edition of Grand Theft Auto 3 also had these multiplayer maps in the game's files. The multiplayer options can actually be unlocked using a GTA 3 menu editor in this version, but unfortunately cannot be executed. Some of the game's modes were Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch Stealth, Stash the Cash, Capture the Flag, Rat Race, and Domination. Now full credit goes to ZMay2009 who took the time to convert the maps to the PC version. These maps include Chinatown, the Tower, the Sewer, Industrial Park, Liberty City, Red Light District, the Docks, and Staunton. In the Chinatown map, Mr. Wong's Laundrette and the Bank of Liberty can both be accessed. The Tower map would take place in the Pan-Atlantic construction site in Staunton, which was previously inaccessible. The Sewer map, I feel, is the most interesting. It has a series of complex sewer tunnels with blown up walls which lead to a bank vault. The Industrial Park, which takes place in Pike Creek with slight changes to the area to cater to the multiplayer aspect. The two mysterious maps are the Liberty City and Red Light District. It is only speculated that the Red Light District map would take place, well, in the Red Light District, and the Liberty City map would allow the different players to roam around the whole city. And that pretty much sums up the beta of Grand Theft Auto 3. Thank you guys for watching. Check out some of my other videos if you enjoyed. I have both an unreleased game series and a series for betas such as this one. And here are a couple other cool links that you could click on. And check out Unseen64 as well, they have some awesome guys over there. And I'll see you all next time.